Ilinala Ipalawan, Sinyabula, Minaletnya, Agan Bravo, Itata Taunya.
Yet cervical cancer continues to pose a constant risk to women today due to low awareness.
Cervical cancer pasiye masak wan matan sa kontilokinyaki. Fingom somono, pap smear and HP vaccination isa na kashing tilokinya.
Dapat ko radil amla mugar. Yago mga laklangan radil. Nagtamare rin mo raw usong ala. Yang raw guru la. Ramak nitalak ta. Raktel umaralir.
Ang mga babaeng may edad 21 pataas ay kailangang magpapaptest kada 3 taon.
Sa dating na sontartua, lari sa kwano, anana na token sila ng HPV.
Ewa fesin, todo Guam Foundation. Ato geriawak na test, may oposud, ewa semuet HPV. Eri fefire sa rifirifit, iya patufit singeriare pagi. Ekari ni sakawar, dari tentu burut, nanabut, may apatsakurel fefil medicine. Kirisam.
Tampatilin cervical cancer arangan preventna från avskatchushadum, novinial mahabiun kotafulaika cervical cancer.
Ara ko min matan fokokos.
Be a well woman.
Mga pakla ba din iyo?
Tufna rada pinipin ang raiwege da health rodad.
Piyata li kailangan.
Zangin megat itataw tanya.
Maging malusog po tayong mga kababaihan.
Kitsvepi si puede petiveteresito resawal geririsits puede papatsakut.
Take the first step to becoming a well woman and call Todu Guam Clinic today at 671-649-TODU to schedule an appointment.
I'm 43 and I've lived a relatively unhealthy lifestyle and life, and so I decided I'm going to turn back the hands of time. And so I switched doctors and I'm going to take you on this journey. I joined an athletic competition and I'm going to take you on that journey too. It's a journey of health. Let's do this together. You even get to see how much I weigh.
Buenas Marianas, thank you so much for joining us here on the 7th floor of the DNA building in Hagåtña, Guam. I'm Troy Torres with Kandit News.
And I'm Johnny Rosario.
Today we have a full show to bring you information about disaster aid, what sorts of damages that you can claim, who qualifies, where you can go for information, who you can call, apply, even if you're not sure. We're going to get all of that information from public information officers from the Small Business Administration and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or we know them as FEMA. And we've known them as FEMA for decades because typhoons have come through here and devastated our island for decades. And then on the second half of the show, we're going to have Lieutenant Colonel PV from the United States Army Corps of Engineers, along with Governor's spokeswoman and Joint Information Coordinator Crystal Paco San Agustin. Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
This was all Johnny's idea. Johnny was like, you know, Cello, we need to bring the people information about what they can do to apply for aid. And I've just been so stuck in the rut of, you know, the every up to the minute communication that we need to get out to people. I didn't even think about that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I think a lot of the people here, they don't know where to go. They don't, they don't understand it. And as soon as we are done here, I will show them how to apply on the app and all of that.
Yeah, so you guys are going to teach us. And I don't know if you can, they're probably not on the screen yet. And they will be when we come back from this conversation. We have Veronica Verde from FEMA and Kevin Wynn from USSBA for the first half of the show. Before we get there, I wanted to dispel something that's flying out in the community. There was a posting, basically a job posting. It says now hiring, and it's for debris inspectors. And we posted it up after speaking with this national company's local representatives, and after we verified that this was a real thing. And there are some people who, I don't know why, but they stamped a big false over it and they spread that out. And so now there are people who are hesitant to apply for this job, which pays $1,300 a week and doesn't require any heavy lifting. And for the amount of lazy people we have on this island, I would think that that would be something that someone would want to jump at, you know? But someone stamped this false thing, sent it out, and now there are people who are not
answer.
There are people who are not applying for the jobs.
Yeah.
Who need money and
you know, that's why I always tell people, verify it for yourself.
Or verify it with us. We were the ones who put it out. You know, and so it's real. It's a real job opportunity.
Apply, get some money in your pocket. That's $2,600 every 2 weeks.
That's for Senator Tell us how to agree. That's $5,200 every month. I'm just kidding, Senator. I'm just kidding. And so.
Oh, and don't forget Winchell's, guys. Go to Winchell's. They're open now.
Yeah, we got some donuts. We have brought some donuts for our guests, but really it's for me. And they have hot coffee too. And I cannot wait for
clam chowder.
No, the GWA to get the water wells back up and running and the boil water notices off, because I really miss Polar Pops. You know, the 76 Circle K drinks.
I want ice.
With the ice, and everyone's looking for ice.
Yes.
With my raspberry iced tea from 76 Circle K. But shout out to them for being just such wonderful people throughout this storm and helping people, and just their smiling faces over at the Circle K's. When we come back from this commercial break, we're going to bring you information from SBA and FEMA.
Dull knives are the absolute worst, but I will take any dull knife and put a razor-sharp edge on it so you won't have to hack or try to saw your ingredients when prepping your food. I sharpen knives, cleavers, machetes, and much more. Shoot me a text, WhatsApp, or give me a call for more information on how you can get your knives Shinar.
I feel that this environment is for anybody that wants to try something new. Whether it is CrossFit or powerlifting, we offer a safe space for someone who's never been athletically inclined to try something that they've never done before.
Welcome back to this afternoon's edition of Kandit Live, where we have in studio with us Kevin Wynn from the U.S. Small Business Administration and Veronica Verdi from FEMA. We can call it FEMA, right? And I was talking to Veronica before the show started, and I was like, "You look so familiar. Have you been here before?" And she was like, "Yeah."
I know you very well. I've seen you.
She knows Guam very well, guys.
She's helped us many times. Yeah.
Yes.
You helped to put together our which plan was it?
The catastrophic plan. So Guam has a catastrophic plan, and been here many times. You know, the people here are near and dear to my heart. Every time I am deployed here, it's like family. So that's what it feels like.
And you haven't really aged. Like,
yeah.
I kind of
really?
hate you right now.
I love you.
Yeah.
My goodness. Wow,
I'm a bit jealous. Yeah. But thank you both so much for coming back to Guam. Is this your first time here, Kevin?
That is my first time here, Troy, and I've enjoyed it very much. I was speaking with Johnny about how pleasant, nice, courteous the people are. It's so different than being in the United States. But
oh, you haven't been to the gas lines, huh?
Well, I've seen the gas lines, but they are so courteous and nice. I just really enjoy them. And, you know, thanks for letting me, come here to help, and anything we can do to help.
No, thank you so much. Thank you both so much for coming on the show. There's with the cell phone issues and all that, people need information.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the things that, we want to let, folks know, I mean, we were here before the storm. Our regional administrator pre-deployed over about 100 people here to the island. We have approximately 650 that are here now. Wow. And there are other federal agencies that we work and coordinate closely together with. But the most important thing that we're looking at is the governor made a request for individual assistance, and that's for homeowners and renters that have received damages as a result of the typhoon.
What kind of damages?
So some of the damages we're looking at specifically is really for your home. If your home was damaged, if you had personal property that was damaged, and we're also looking at perhaps transportation. If there was a vehicle and it wasn't covered under insurance, that may be eligible as well. But there's one simple way that people can register with FEMA. Once they call the 1-800, that's 1-800-621-3362, or by web at disasterassistance.gov. Once they get into the system and register with us, it'll take about 20 minutes. They're going to ask for your name, social security. They're going to ask for the damaged dwelling. It'll take about like 20 minutes for the application. After that, they're going to be provided a registration number. That registration number is going to be with them throughout their case until there is an eligibility. So once they do register with FEMA, we will be sending out a FEMA inspector to go and look at their damages or their home damages. That's going to take, after they review the damages, about 7 to 10 days. They will be receiving a letter of eligibility.
What if you're not sure whether what you're claiming is qualified? You want them to
still register?
Anyway?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. We want individuals and residents, renters to register with FEMA, and let's run them through the system because they may be eligible. There's been power out already and still in many of the areas, so they may qualify for some of our programs. So we want people to register, again, 1-800-621-3362, and also disasterassistance.gov. They can also apply in the FEMA app, so that's also another way. We've been hearing a couple of things that people are having a hard time, getting through. I kind of checked before in the morning and then before I came here. The lines are open, so people can call. It's running right now 24/7 for people to make a registration. So that's important. Also, today we have what we call disaster survivor assistance teams that are going out. They're actually going to be going out door to door in areas. We are working directly with the mayors, and we are going to be going to the areas that were affected and try to register them. Wow. So we have teams out there. They have an iPad. They're going to try to register individuals. We understand that there's still a lot of power out. Maybe people don't have transportation. We have those with disabilities. We want to try to reach those people to try to get them registered, to try to get them into the system. Also, we do have disaster recovery centers. Those should be coming up online hopefully this weekend, where individuals, if they have any questions about how to apply, or if they have any questions about any of the paperwork that they receive from FEMA or SBA, they can actually go into the disaster recovery center and inquire about their application. We don't want a lot of long lines because it's really there if people don't have access to register. Perhaps they could go into the disaster recovery center to make a registration. But we don't want to exacerbate where people are waiting in long lines, and and that becomes a situation. We want people at the comfort of their home, if they can, to register with us, and that's again either over the phone or online or on a FEMA app.
This is very different from the Pangsona application process where there were the long lines.
Yes, and we were taking paper application at that time. Yes.
And so this is a market improvement, and I'm hearing there's boots on the ground.
Yes, there's boots on the ground. Thing. Yeah, we have about 70 right now, and we have more on the way.
Excellent.
We have more on the way, and the most important thing is really to reach out, to a local government, to our mayors, because they know their they know their community, and so it's so important to get tied in with them. We've built a really good relationship.
Okay.
Our regional administrator met with many of the mayors. Wanted to find out if they needed any resources and help to push some commodities to them.
So there is a relationship, and this information is with the 19 mayors already.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They understand that about the registration process. They understand that we're going to have disaster survivor assistance teams that are going to be going out, and before we even go out into the area, we're coordinating with them.
So if it's not 1-800-621-3362, 1-800-621 FEMA. 1-800-621 FEMA. I grew up in the 80s. I did that on in my head. Yeah. 1-800-621 FEMA.
Yes.
Yeah. 3362.
Yep.
Yeah.
1-800-621-3362. Disasterassistance.gov. And we want to help to jumpstart the recovery. So we want to try to get money out to individuals, and so we're really wanting to hope that any avenue that people can register, to do so now.
Up to how much money?
And even if you're not sure, just register, and then they'll check it out.
That would be my main thing is, am I even qualified? I lost food, and so do I even qualify for anything? So you're saying register.
Absolutely, register. We also work very closely with the American Red Cross. They're providing meals as well to the shelters, and they're also another great resource for individuals, especially when it comes to sheltering and also providing food resources.
Up to how much money can people get?
Well, when people register, it can be up to $41,000, but I guess it's on a case-to-case basis. It's really depending, again, to jumpstart their recovery. We work in really close coordination with the Small Business Administration. They have a larger dollar amount. Ours are grants, so individuals don't have to pay that back, but the Small Business Administration, they have a really low interest rate, especially if you were a business owner, if you're a homeowner or renter. They can provide also funding as well.
Let's talk about that and how these systems, you said there's a system and maybe there's a link up here. Can we talk about that? So I rent, right? And let's just say that I did have damage, and it was like maybe $50,000 worth of damage, and and I applied for it because I'm a renter. Where does that money go? And then because it's more than $41,000, how is there does FEMA do everything up to $41,000, and then SBA takes over for the remainder for the loan? And where do I apply also at disasterassistance.gov, or do I have to go to SBA?
Those are great questions. So once you make a call to FEMA, 1-800-621-3362, disasterassistance.gov, you're already in the system. And again, they will give you a registration number once you finish the application.
Okay.
That registration number will be with you throughout your whole case.
So even businesses that are claiming damages, they would go to the same.
Yeah, they can call
website.
the 1-800-621-3362, and then I'm going to turn it over to maybe Kevin to talk about the Small Business Administration.
Thank you, Veronica. Very well said. And I really want to emphasize the fact that everybody on the island should apply with FEMA. It's the best thing to do. Let FEMA inspectors make the decision on whether you had any damage or not. Quickly getting to businesses, we're actually opening a business recovery center tomorrow at the First Hawaiian Bank over there on Route 8.
Oh, in Mighty.
All right,
okay.
At 9 a.m. tomorrow to get these businesses up and running. It's on the 3rd floor at the SBA district office over there. We're prepping it right now.
We're going to put a flyer together, unless you guys have one, and get that out as soon as possible.
We're putting out a press release this afternoon, Troy, and it should be up there. But you guys are the first to hear about this. I told Veronica on the way over in the car, so you guys are the second and the third.
Thank you.
But it's great to get this out for the businesses. In regards to your question about being a renter, if you had $50,000 worth of damage,
let's just say,
yeah, FEMA would give you whatever they think is they could, and then there's something in the government called, as you mentioned, when the government goes onto an island for the disaster, a lot of new verbiage, duplication of benefits, short DOBs. We don't do it with each other. We won't duplicate what FEMA gives you in a form of a grant. SBA will then, if you apply with SBA, make out your own application. We'll give you up to $40,000. Say FEMA gave you $5,000, we loan you up to $35,000, 2.5% interest rate, 12-month deferral, terms up to 30 years, makes recovery very affordable.
Okay.
You may even be able to get a chance to get out of that rental and get some money and use it for a
new rental,
concrete house.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that's what you can do. We're trying to, get you back up and running again. But that's something you can do. Talk with your case manager with SBA once you're into the system and approved for a loan. It's a great program for businesses. It's up to 4%, $2 million for these businesses for the business physical loss, furniture and fixtures, machinery and equipment, inventories also probably got wet, carpet, all of that for the businesses. Also something called economic injury, up to $2 million as well for that. Those are for businesses that may not have had physical damage, which you're not going to find a lot of, but they can get economic injury. That means that they can start paying their bills. Working capital loans, in a way, is what those are. And an aggregate of business, physical, and economic injury to $2 million. terms up to 30 years, 4%, also that 12-month deferral. They're great programs. The homeowners and the renters, we work really well with FEMA together. FEMA obviously comes in first, does some grant money, they apply with SBA. We're up to $200,000 on their primary residence. I already mentioned Troy can get up to $40,000 on his rental property, or your rental property inside the rental thing, not your, obviously not the outside of it. The business owner would cover that.
Okay.
Great program, 800-659-2955. Call and apply with them. Register with FEMA, 800-621-3362, disasterassistance.gov. This rolls off my tongue so easily anymore. But they're great programs. We're here to help. Apply. Go to FEMA. FEMA's probably going to send you it over SBA. If they do, fill out that application. It keeps the federal recovery process going.
This is great information.
Yeah.
Kevin. Can we go back to that economic injury thing? So here at Kandit, our bread and butter is advertising revenue. And because of the depressed economy right now that we have because of the typhoon, it's going to be hard for advertisers to fork up any cash to advertise. So have we been injured, and can we get a loan?
Fill out an application. Economic injury is basically, it's the working capital to keep the lights on. The notes payable paid. Especially your employees employed. You got to keep Johnny here.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, that's what that is. Economic injury for. It's not to look for new revenue. It's not replacing revenue. It's keeping your bills paid. But I don't make decisions in the field. Never have.
Sure.
Never will. Our loan officers do. Apply.
Okay.
Go to the Business Recovery Center tomorrow, 9 a.m. I'll be there, welcoming media.
This is awesome.
Okay? Go there. Customer service reps will help you one-on-one, help you fill out the application, answer any other questions you have. Bring some Winchell's coffee, some Winchell's donuts, some Winchell's clam chowder.
We're going to do it.
Come for it.
We're going to do it. You know what? I love both of them because this is just such a dark time for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And everything you guys are saying is just, there's just so much hope here.
Can I just say, just apply.
Just apply.
Personal, business, just apply at FEMA. FEMA will take your application and decide whether you need SBA or not, or whatever, you know.
Absolutely. Let us.
That's how it goes.
Yes,
That's how
we'll
the system works.
Yes, we'll coordinate what programs are available.
Apply. Everybody apply.
Disasterassistance.gov.
Yes.
1-800-621-FEMA.
Yes,
right?
3362. Thank you very much. And if phones are busy, keep trying because we're running 24/7 and we want everybody to apply. Disasterassistance.gov is a great way, so you don't have to, wait for someone to pick up the phone. And then when we open up the disaster recovery centers, we will give you that customer service when you walk in the door to try to help you, to try to answer all of your questions one-on-one for individuals that want to meet somebody in person. Also, disaster survivor assistance teams will be in your neighborhoods to try to help individuals to try to apply.
And another good thing is at these disaster recovery centers, customer service representatives from the SBA are there as well.
Yes.
They can also help you fill out your application, answer any questions you have. If you go to a disaster recovery center for SBA purposes, the application is uploaded that night, so that makes the process go quicker. As Johnny said, apply, and if you do it as quickly as possible, that means recovery dollars are starting to flow into your account. You can buy Winchell's donuts, Winchell's coffee, Winchell's clam chowder.
76 Circle K Polar Pops when they're available. Yeah.
So anyway, they're great programs. I can never say enough about FEMA, how great they are. Because there's a lot of countries that don't have something called FEMA. So I'm always tooting their horn as well as SBA. 800-659-2955 for SBA. Any questions?
Can we get that down in the comments?
Okay, wait.
1-800.
Which one?
The SBA, yeah.
1-800
659
2955 SBA, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and we want to let your listeners, your viewers know that we're here for the long haul. So we're going to be here until we help everybody.
Well, I wanted to ask that. But first, are we done with the information that we wanted to get out?
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, apply is basically the biggest message.
And thank you for keeping it simple.
Jumpstart, and a couple of other things, if I could really say. People do not have to wait to clean up. I think a lot of people are waiting for FEMA or FEMA inspectors, or even though maybe insurance inspectors. Take photos, take videos of your damages. Start to clean up. We don't want mold to build up.
Right.
So we want people to start cleaning up, and then go and continue to register and talk with FEMA.
Thank you so
and
much.
SBA.
Okay, Dorothy Jesus says, do we call FEMA right after we applied online for FEMA?
No, they can if they have questions about their application.
Okay.
So once they've made an application online, if they have any questions about their applications, they thought, I just remembered something that I wanted to add, they could call us at 1-800-621-3362, press 2.
Okay.
That's the helpline. They'll be happy to answer any questions that they may have.
Okay, so after I apply and it went through, what do I wait for?
There's a registration number, so they should have gotten a registration number.
Okay.
After that, they will be hearing from a FEMA inspector within 7 to 10 days.
Make sure you give a working number.
Thank you. Yes, that's very, very important because we need to try to get a hold of. To get a hold of you.
So if you have prepaid phone service,
make sure you have minutes.
Load. Make sure you have your minutes. If you have, what about postpaid service, whatever service, and we have the cell phone issues happening right now. So
yes, and we're trying to ensure that as the inspectors go out.
What's the time frame? Okay, my application
within 7 to 10 days.
Okay, so after 7 days, or maybe even 10, if you're patient like me, then you start calling.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So wait 10 days.
Yes. At 10 days, if they haven't heard from FEMA, they haven't heard from a FEMA inspector.
They might be getting a hold of you, but you don't have any service. So just wait 10 days and then call them.
Yes. Yes. Or visit one of our disaster recovery centers.
There. That's perfect because they can look up the application, I'm sure, and find out where it is in the system as well. Plus, you can probably pop over to the SBA table and apply there if you haven't applied already. And it's probably an air-conditioned place, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Disaster Survivor Assistance teams that are out there.
So where is the FEMA Recovery Aid Center?
We're looking at that. We're going to send you the news release as soon as we found a location, and we're just going through the process.
Okay.
And as soon as we have that, we're going to get you that information. We would love to be on your show. If you hear of any rumors, we would love to.
We'll put out those. We'll put out whatever flyers you want us to put out. We'll put out whatever, rumor, anti-rumor thing. We'll put out anything that you guys want us to put out. Send it to us.
And I'll send you that press release today for the BRC tomorrow, the Business Recovery Center.
Yes, please, please. And we're going to be there. What if I am not a U.S. citizen, but I'm a resident of Guam and there were damages?
Yeah, so, we look at U.S. citizens, non-citizen, national qualified aliens, but if someone has a child who is a U.S. citizen, they can apply under their Social Security.
Nice.
Okay.
And that's why we work so closely with our voluntary agencies, American Red Cross, Salvation Army. They're able to provide aid to anybody.
Okay.
And so that's why we bring them in. They're part of our partners. They're part of our other federal family that gets deployed with us anytime there is a disaster declaration specifically for individual assistance, because we know shelters are open, we know people need commodities, and we work closely with American Red Cross, Salvation Army, and many other voluntary agencies that are bringing aid here to Guam.
And again, if you're unsure, apply.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
that's what we want. Thank you.
The one with the Social Security number, I'm the mom. I'm not a U.S. citizen, but my child is. Same thing with the food stamps. So when I'm the mom who can't get, but when I apply under my child. So they're aware of that.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Right
That's
on.
great.
Right on. So now that we're done with if we're done with the information, I just kind of want to have personal. Why do you guys do this? You come into a place that, you know, there's no aircon, running water, cell phone service. It's freaking hot on Guam.
Yes, we caught a military plane over here, and we do it because
you guys just like this stuff, or
you know what? I love helping people, and I love being of service, and to me that goes beyond really like any paycheck that you get. I mean, you hear about people that are out in the community that are really hurting right now, and I just think of my own family, and so I want to make sure that they get the right information, that we're going out to them, trying to reach them, because I can imagine if that was my family, I'd want them to do that for my family. And
God
so
bless you.
We love the people of Guam, and whatever we can do to try to reach them, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, and we're basically on the SBA side, the Public Information Officer, we're really our own bosses, so I'm like doing whatever I need to do. I'm on my own. It's great.
I love that.
So I make my own schedule, and it's just fabulous. So I've always enjoyed it. I've been with the agency about 18 years now, and
nice.
Hopefully if I come back to Guam within about 5 or 7 years, you'll say I'm just as handsome as I am now, like you're saying to Veronica is.
I'm sure
as well.
The good Lord's going to bless you, I'm sure.
Yes.
For the wonderful work you both are doing.
Thank you. And it's been such a great partnership, not only with us, but our other federal agencies. U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. We have EPA. We're working together with USDA, CISA, HHS. The government of Guam has been amazing. The governor's office, Homeland Security, and just a great partnership because we're all working together in one to try to do so many things to get people back up and running. The power, the debris. And try to get people money as fast as we can on the street.
I have a great question from Maggie Herkes. Would you email me if you can't get a hold of me by phone after the application process?
Yes, we will. That's why it's always important when you do the application to provide a good email address.
Read it twice, three times.
Please. I've seen this
whatever, a lot. What kind of email is funny?
Juice it up 69 Guam at, just some
Make
ridiculous.
sure you double check you spelled it right, guys.
Absolutely. And then, again, just in case, if you have not heard from us in 10 days, you can always call us back. If that's not a preferable method, they can always go to our Disaster Recovery Center and speak with somebody one-on-one.
Nice.
We'll provide great customer service.
And we're going to have that information soon about where this Disaster Recovery Center is. And at 9 a.m. tomorrow, you guys are going to be at the First Wine Bank building in Mighty at 9 a.m.
With Winchell's Donuts and Coffee.
With Winchell's Donuts
Third floor.
and Coffee.
Yep.
And if 76 Polar Pops and Coffees are back up and running, we'll bring that too. I want to thank you both so much.
Yes,
and this won't be the last time we see you. Hopefully, as information becomes available, we'll be able to have you back on our show, either in studio or by phone.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
thank you for having us.
We enjoy coming into the studio.
Okay.
This was really
awesome.
nice.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you to you and also your viewers as well.
Thank you. So when we come back, we are going to have Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Peavy with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and Governor's Director of Communications, and in a role that I don't envy, Joint Information Coordinator Crystal Paco San Augustine. Stick with us.
Dull knives are the absolute worst, but I will take any dull knife and put a razor sharp edge on it so you won't have to hack or try to saw your ingredients when prepping your food. I sharpen knives, cleavers, machetes, and much more. Shoot me a text, WhatsApp, or give me a call for more information on how you can get your knives Shinar.
I feel that this environment is for anybody that wants to try something new. Whether it is CrossFit or powerlifting, we offer a safe space for someone who's never been athletically inclined to try something that they've never done before.
Our studios where I was just stuffing my face with a ham and cheese croissant from Winchell's. Pardon me. It was really good. So we just had Kevin Wynn from USSBA.
Great
and
information.
Veronica Birdie from FEMA. It can't be more simple than that, people.
Yeah.
They gave us a phone number, 1-800-621-FEMA. There's even it spells out FEMA. And if you can't figure that out on the phone, have someone else do your application. Disasterassistance.gov. They're going to have a disaster recovery center that opens up to make things easier. They're on the ground helping people who don't have access to phones and transportation and internet and all that stuff. And SBA is going to have a thing tomorrow at 9 a.m. at First Hawaiian Bank in Mighty. There's a lot of good information that they gave out, and we can't thank them enough.
Well, you know, for the SBA, if you are a business and you know you're not going to qualify for FEMA or whatever, and you just want to go straight to SBA, then you can do that. But they are suggesting that you apply first with FEMA, whether you're a business or personal, right? Correct.
And
right?
so now we have,
yes,
we want to welcome to the studio, yes, the very beautiful.
I don't know how she does it. It's a typhoon. All I did was brush my hair.
She is the governor's director of communications, and ever since I think a day or two before Typhoon Mawar, she became the joint information coordinator, which is a very unenviable position to be in. She has been in charge of communicating, and this is not just the government of Guam people. Her role includes a coordination of communication among the government of Guam, the military, and the private sector. It is not a small role whatsoever. It is a highly enhanced and difficult job to be in. And so, Crystal, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Troy and Johnny, and to the people of Guam watching today. It was very scary, I know, and it continues to be scary when telecoms was very limited, right? To be the head of information sharing and not have any platforms for people to receive it. To be a PIO, Public Information Officer, and have the information in no public to receive was very scary. And so those first few days, we know information was limited. We're so thankful to the people of Guam for staying safe. So much has happened in the last week. We're now on day 8 of post-typhoon Mawar recovery efforts, and I just want to say so much has happened in record time. Our Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio was with Bob Fenton, our regional administrator for FEMA, yesterday, and they were talking, comparing and contrasting our response efforts compared to Pongsonwa, compared to PACA. That was 21 years ago, and so those Pongsonwa babies are now old enough to drink a beer. I just wanted to say that. But basically, anecdotally, both of them were able to share because both of them had responded to those catastrophic events.
The Lieutenant Governor at the time was the Deputy Chief of Staff for Governor Paul Gutierrez in the waning days of the Gutierrez administration.
And Mr. Fenton was here. And Mr. Fenton was physically here on Guam, responding to the recovery efforts for both PACA and Pongsonwa.
And the governor's office moved to the 3rd and 4th floors of this building that we're in right now.
So we're coming full circle. And I just wanted to say again to the people of Guam, we thank you for your patience, but this is record recovery we're talking about. By the weekend, the days after, I think 2 days after our storm's passage, Typhoon Mawar's passage, the island's hospital was back on island power. And so we know that it can be very difficult if you're still waiting for those critical utilities like water, turning on the water, being able to wash your hands, wash the dishes, flush the toilet, the power. It's very uncomfortable if you don't have air conditioning, if you're not able to charge your devices to access information. Well, we know that our utilities crews are going out there. They were deployed at first light. Once the coast was clear, Typhoon Mawar hit us hardest overnight, and once the coast was clear, first light, DPW crews, the mayor's offices, they were out there clearing the roads so our crews, our utility crews, we're talking GPA, GWA, the telecoms partners, they were able to make their ways onto the streets and make those repairs, first to the critical infrastructure. Also, the port is also back on island power, the airport, all 3 of these critical infrastructures, the hospital, the port, and the airport, all open for business within a week's time. So that's record recovery compared to Pongsonwa PACA that took 3 to 4 months. And so that's just really the message I wanted to give to the people of Guam. And I feel so bad. I've hogged the mic and not introduced our friend here.
We got to introduce our friend here. We have with us from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, which has a critical role here in our recovery, Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Peavy, who is the commander. Is there a name of the group?
Sure, it's the commander for the Honolulu District, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and kind of on-site commander.
And he's super tall, he's really, really tall. So can you help us to understand what the U.S. Army Corps? We know about the debris cleaning contract because there's those job announcements that were. Maybe you can help to verify that whole thing is true.
No, sure. I first want to say. For communicators, thank you for what you do. It is not easy to try to communicate in a situation like this, and just what you're doing for the people is amazing. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's not easy to be Crystal. We're having fun.
But I'm grateful for the sympathy, Troy, because Troy sat in my spot and he knows how hard it is, and
I know what it's
how
like,
media has evolved since then. And so we're all learning from this typhoon. Back to basics. Get those radios out. Analog. Landline phones.
No, but this one was weird because this typhoon, all the radios went out. The radio stations went out.
And someone told me the landlines went down. Sorry, okay. You know what? We're hogging the microphone from Lieutenant Colonel Pete.
No, not at all. So we in this situation, we're what's called the ESF3, or Emergency Support Function, where you work with FEMA, and also with this with Guam. Specifically here in Guam, what we're doing is emergency temporary power for recovery. There's like 6 different functions. What we're also doing is like a temporary roofing for people that have been affected, and also as
residences
for owners.
Wow.
Yes, sir. And then also, as you mentioned, for debris. So right now for debris and for temporary roofing, we're kind of going through that assessment period and trying to figure out how much damage has been done, and we work with the other federal agencies that work under FEMA as well. Right now with Temp Power, we have about 136 people with the Corps of Engineers. That includes contractors as well, trying to get critical infrastructure up. What that means is that we basically take generators, and then we attach them to the infrastructure that Guam thinks is most critical at the time, while the grid is coming up. And so that's our support function, to try to get everything we can back to the people of Guam.
Are you guys the ones who are helping with the water wells, the water pumps and all that?
That's us, yes, sir. Yes, Kevin.
Thank you. So Johnny wants to thank you, and she also wants to let you know that she lives near Mendioca Street.
Yeah.
And they don't have water yet.
Yeah, right below the airport.
So if
guys. But I'm patient. I know there's other people that need it more than me, so I'll just wait.
Yeah. So for us, we're kind of the end user there, but we do work with the government of Guam and with FEMA to look at prioritization. But
so where you fall in, so everyone just applies, and wherever the roofing, that will all fall under FEMA.
How does that happen?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah. So we're figuring out that plan right now.
Oh, okay.
But I would say for the center that was spoke about before, that's where people can go and to see if they would actually apply for that type of
the disaster recovery center that's going to open.
Yeah,
so you guys haven't done that part yet. You're going to.
Not yet. That plan is being made right now, and when we give it to FEMA, then people can go to the recovery center and get.
Crystal, is this something that you guys are over at the EOC are helping to coordinate with Army Corps of Engineers? Like, for instance, you have all this.
Embedded in our EOC.
So you have all the shelterees, right? Many of them can't go home because they don't have a roof over their heads. This might be something, right?
Yes, absolutely. And so what happens again when you register for FEMA, you trigger all the federal family, and they're all literally embedded into the Homeland Security. We're all working out of the bunker. The IOF has actually become the hub for all the FEMA workers. It is busy. Everyone's working. It's crowded, but everyone is ready to deploy. Again, this is one of the fastest mobilizations of help, is what I'm hearing anecdotally from our first responders here. Again, this federal family, inclusive of USAs, that's U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, USDA, SBA, DOD, they were all present at our press conference earlier this week. Well, I don't know, was it last week? I don't know any.
We live in
it all blurs together.
They're all blurred together, but they all work together. So once you get registered, it triggers all the help.
Okay.
And it's one umbrella. They're all here to help, to support. So if you
when you say register, this was that same 1-800-621-FEMA and disasterassistance.gov.
That's correct.
And you get that registration number, and you're in the system, and the things that you need, they're going to figure out. Someone's going to figure something out. They're going to figure out whether you're qualified. Just register. Just apply.
And again, like he said, they will be embedded into our disaster recovery centers. And that's where I understand we're also trying to set up some outreach initiatives. Some of the businesses have reached out to the Joint Information Center, reached out to FEMA to get more information, because still people prefer to be in person, ask the questions, get their answers from a real representative and not someone on the phone. And so working with Veronica about that.
Can I make a suggestion? The people who handled our money when we lost jobs or lost...
the unemployment
stuff? Yeah, whoever you guys hired there at unemployment or to get unemployment money, bring them on, and they'll process applications and get it done right.
Well, FEMA here is the experts. They're the one running into to ravaged places and then helping people. I know that it's really it's iPad. It's an iPad. They bring an iPad. They get your information. It's very simple. Just get into the system. Last count I got from Veronica was over 6,000 people had registered. And it's not even been a week at that time. That was as of yesterday. And so 6,000 people have registered. That means they're in the system. We're going to track you, and then we're going to get you the help you need.
So, and there's 650 on the ground, just FEMA folks. There's 100 some U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
130, right?
136, he said.
130.
Commander,
he counts himself, it's 136.
When you say debris removal, so I have a lot of debris in front of my house. Is that what you mean, or do you mean like in the main thoroughfares?
So there's a difference between residential debris removal and then removal kind of on municipal streets.
Okay.
Right now, as we go and kind of factor, we did a flyover yesterday with our debris and our roofing SMEs to kind of get more of a visual. They've been on ground for about 5 days, traveling all around Guam, kind of getting an estimate that we can give to FEMA to see where FEMA wants to go with that. For debris itself, I would say that's going to be a plan between us, FEMA, and the government of Guam of how they're going to handle that.
Okay.
Right now, I don't think there's a decision been made, but as soon as there's a decision been made, we'll make sure that information's out there.
So in the meantime, Crystal, if there's a buildup of debris in front of our homes, what do we do with it? Can we burn it?
No.
No.
We're not Short answer is because we're still, bringing more power and water, our utilities back online, water and power restoration. There is still a no burn notice. I know that our Guam Fire Department, and they're embedded into this very building, Troy. They'll tell you no.
You're gonna run into stubborn people like me.
Well, and also becomes a nuisance. Many of us still don't have power. We're still opening our windows. Our screen doors are open. You can smell the fumes, and I know that the good guys and gals at the Guam Fire Department, they could tell what you're burning based on the color of the smoke and how hazardous it could be. So for those of you who have accumulated waste, you've cleaned your homes, thank you so much for minimizing the public health and the environmental hazards that our collection of waste just becomes. Please, you can bring your items or your green debris to 18 of the sites identified throughout the island. There's almost one in every village, the green waste debris sites. So you can read that. I don't have the list pulled up.
Do you remember what village it is that doesn't have the site?
I believe it's Santa Rita. They defer their people to Agate.
Okay.
But there's almost one in every village, and you can bring it there, and it's being secured right now by the National Guard. Again, we want to minimize illegal dumping because that's another problem. We don't want to fix one problem and create another. And so that's being secured by the National Guard, and they're helping with that. And the mayor is, of course, partnering. And so after that, after you've cleaned your green debris and you've brought it to one of the 18 sites identified, you can bring your household waste. Household waste, I want to shout out to the Guam Solid Waste Authority right now. Governor meets with her critical infrastructure agency heads every day, and one of them on the table is Mr. Irvin Slike from the Guam Solid Waste Authority. I can't show him enough love because GSWA is picking up everyone, all the residential trash, paying
Even
or
if you
non-paying customer. So if for me, MTM, Mungto Tumaiti, is our trash days on Wednesday. Even if you're not a paying customer, you could have put your trash out. They would have picked it up. Residential only.
And it's
for
not,
2 weeks.
And if they don't pick it up if your day is Wednesday and they don't pick it up on Wednesday, don't worry. They're going to get to it.
So it's quite the volume, actually. Urban reports that they're picking up more than 3 times the daily volume of trash that they're used to picking up.
Which is good.
Which is amazing. Everyone's using this time to clean up their homes. Again, they'll do this free service for non-paying customers as well for the next 2 weeks. And for those of you who are looking to dispose of your moldy furniture and other household waste, right? Because we're cleaning up our homes, we're trying to resume normalcy.
Where do we put that stuff?
Transfer stations. There's 3 transfer stations. I'm sure you'll read them out later. But
now, what if we don't have trucks?
Trucks. That is a very good question. I'll have to circle back with you.
Is that one of those call your mayor?
I wanted to say it was free. I wanted to say also for the next 2 weeks that transfer stations are waiving their fees for 2 weeks.
But don't put those big white goods and furniture at the curb. That's not what the curb is for. The curb is for just trash.
Your household trash, correct.
Your household trash. But the things, the furniture and the white goods you need to throw away, that's a whole separate thing for the transfer stations. If you don't have transportation, or you just don't have the muscle to, it's just you at home and you can't carry this stuff by yourself.
I want to say we want to work with our island mayors, but I know they're really inundated right now, and I want to take this time to shout out to our mayors who are among our first responders and really leading the recovery efforts within their villages. Governor and Lieutenant Governor meet with them almost daily, or we speak with them daily, because a lot of their needs are relative to heavy equipment. Positioning the heavy equipment, trying to clear the roads, trying to clear the lines, restore power and water for their residents. And also, many of them their facilities are serving as distribution sites for the American Red Cross. Some of them have emergency shelters at their villages. So they have a lot to do. So shout out again to our island mayors, the 19 districts, our mayors and vice mayors, for all that they do. Because we know that when you don't know the answer, the first thing you do is call the mayor. I know this because my dad's phone is ringing. Possibly it was nice that for once his telecom provider wasn't working. His phone went quiet.
I have things that I want to ask my mayor, but I'm holding off because I understand that my mayor's probably getting hundreds, if not thousands, of phone calls every day. And Lieutenant Colonel Peavy, have you had an opportunity, or has U.S. Army Corps of Engineers had an opportunity to engage with the mayors?
We have with our debris and roofing teams. We have been working with the mayoral council, which is great. And it's amazing what the mayors do on a daily basis. We work with GWA and Guam Power Authority, and they've been great partners helping us to figure out how to hook things up as well. And in our normal capacity, right now in my ESF3 capacity under FEMA, in my normal capacity, the Corps of Engineers does civil projects like flood risk mitigation and other things. And so having met with, I guess to help answer the question, having met with those governors before, I was just very impressed with how they deal with their communities. This response to me means a lot to me, to be able to help out.
Thank you.
Because I have employees that are from Guam that live on Guam. And so it hits me emotionally, right, when something like this happens. But just very proud to be a part of the team here and to work with Gov Guam, and then also with FEMA and the local leaders and even the residents. When we're hooking up, I think we were in Sanahanyo and we hooked up one of the first water wells, right? We had somebody come by and thank us. I mean, that just means a lot. And I know we're not done, the work's not done, we're still working hard, and we'll get out there to do the work, but just really proud to be a part of this effort.
Thank you very much for that. Is there anything that U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is doing for businesses, small businesses?
I would say that would be SBA, sir, and working through FEMA for that.
Okay, excellent. Now,
yes, sir.
What about critical infrastructure? I understand you guys had some sort of role with assessment of Guam Memorial Hospital.
We did. So another role in our ESF3 function is real critical infrastructure, and they can bring us in for that. For this response, FEMA and Gov Guam has kind of looked at us for tent power, roofing, and debris. But that is something. If the governor wants to look at that, we can bring experts in. Because our enterprise is about 39,000 employees, and the goodness of USACE is I can pull from somewhere anywhere in the world or the continental United States to bring him in for an expertise.
You said tents? You say tents, power, and roofing? What's tents?
So temporary roofing, not necessarily tents. We do blue roof. That's kind of more because the structures here. That's kind of more in the continental United States, in the mainland U.S. But the things we do under ESF3 are temp power, temp roofing, debris. Temp roofing, sorry, not tent roofing. Temporary roofing. Sorry.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Is there any other information you wanted to get out to the people of Guam?
I'm just proud to be this effort, be a part of this effort, and look forward to just continuing it to help out.
Thank you so much. Sure. You're enjoying it here?
Loving it.
Absolutely
really gorgeous.
The hot sun and the humidity.
And I live in Hawaii, and I love Hawaii, but I mean Guam is an absolutely gorgeous island. I'd say, having seen this done in USACE and having done this type of response, I am absolutely impressed. And I would even up to my senior leadership, just how resilient the people are here, how resilient this island is, and just that is the impression I get when I talk to people. But I just happy to be here.
Were you guys part of the CNMI response? And you two? And
we were. I was not in part of this organization specifically, but the Corps of Engineers was. Yes, sir.
Those are resilient people too. Yeah. And they're helping us now.
Yeah.
Crystal.
Completely agree.
How are you? Really, how have you been?
I'm okay. You know what? There's a lot to be thankful for. I think, Johnny and I were talking before you went live about we're all so humbled, we're all so thankful. The typhoon forced us to stop and take notice of the simple things. Again, like air conditioning. Being able to turn on the light washing your dishes, flushing a toilet, a hot meal. For me, I will not turn down a hot meal, and I want to shout out to the American Red Cross, who, because of them, we're now able to provide 2 hot meals to our shelteries a day. That's such a luxury. And so we're so grateful to our partners from our federal family, including USAID, including FEMA. Again, that number to call, 1-800-621-FEMA. And if you don't have telecoms, and if you can't access their app or their website at disasterassistance.gov, this weekend we're looking to open our first disaster recovery centers. I feel like I could work for FEMA after this. But again, to the people of Guam, thank you so much for your patience. I know that it's been rough. We're all anxious for information, all hungry for information. So I want to thank our media partners. I want to thank you for sharing only verified information as well. Cause
we do this thing that we never do at any other time. So we write our stuff, and I literally send it to Krista. I'm like, is this okay to publish?
Is this true? And
is this responsible to publish?
And he doesn't. I appreciate that you don't add to the panic, right? Because again, we went so dark, because some people have to drive to a certain place to access data, to get the WhatsApp message, to get the one JIC from a day ago. You know, we're so grateful that we're only sharing verified, trusted information from sources
dated and
that's
has a
dated.
timestamp.
Everything has to be timestamped. For those of you at home who don't know what to do or where to call, or maybe you just don't know what to do next, I want to offer the Joint Information Center phone number. And this is a team, I want to shout out to them at the JIC, working out of Homeland, hand in hand with our FEMA family and our federal family. If you don't know what to do or what to call, or maybe just have a question about the response, you can call the Joint Information Center at 671-478-0208-09 or 10. And so that's 478-0208-09 or 010. And this is staffed by the best of our government of Guam PIO. So you're going to get a credible source on the other end. This is run by Jenna. Right now, Josh is there from GVB, Paul Tapao from GPD, and our team. We're ready to respond. We're ready to if you need help, we work two steps away rather from the EOC.
Is it still 24-hour manned?
For the most part, yes. Okay. We're able to at least forward calls. I take calls on my personal phone. It gets forwarded, and we're hoping to help people.
Are people still sleeping underneath the desk, at least on that rough carpet? Yeah.
Sleeping on the floor, yes.
Yeah.
Sleeping under the desk, I have not seen yet. Just
I
little
sleeping.
Sleeping.
Damn, wait, I forgot it. It was important, guys.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
It was very important.
Lieutenant Colonel, that's first, Lieutenant Governor. Lieutenant Colonel PB, are you being fed with tomorrow food? You and your team?
As much as I can get it.
Okay.
Okay. Finadeni on rice?
I have, and I look to try to get out as the power's kind of restored and be able to get.
Yeah,
we need to give these guys some of Pika's stuff.
Yes. I don't know if they like hot.
Pika Farron.
Yeah.
But can I also shout out to those the unsung heroes, manning the...
Oh, there's my question. I got it before I forget.
Gas stations and the restaurants.
Yes. Mobile, I have to say
Stoplights.
Mobile got me in and out in 21 minutes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Mobile has 18 of their 20 stations open. So for those of you just catching up on the news, there's no fuel shortage on Guam. There's a 45-day supply at the port, sitting at the port. And so please do not panic buy. If you do not need to be there, then you don't need to be there.
I don't think the lines are not long anymore. 76 Circle K is back open.
It'll show, like, you know how they have their little word thing?
Yeah.
It'll tell you gas or no more gas. Guys, I love them
and
so
also
much.
It's been a collaborative effort. I know that our fuel companies have been working together to bring more stations online, because they know that when you bring more gas stations online, it takes attention off their gas station. Because we're all dealing with issues with trying to recover our homes and our families. We're all struggling with telecoms limitations.
I am so tired of the complaints about gas. I'm like, you should have gassed your darn car.
I think we're again back to basics with messaging, right? When preparedness is get money, get cash. Right? People at Kmart, you can't access, it's cash only there. A lot of the restaurants and a lot of the restaurants are cash only, so you find yourself, what can I buy with the cash I have? Gas your car, do your laundry is another one. Those are basics. In addition,
the laundromat is the new gas station, just FYI.
In addition to, of course, taking those preparedness steps, of course, many of us have hardened our homes with concrete instead of tin roofing, and then also the shutters. So this is what FEMA has told me, and anecdotally is just they've observed how resilient our people are compared to the last catastrophic weather incident, because many of us have made those critical investments. And so while we've hardened our homes and we were prepared to weather Category 4 typhoon winds and rains, we weren't prepared for a telecoms blackout. You know, we weren't prepared because I didn't have a radio out. I mean, I listened to the radio off a app on my phone. I couldn't even listen to the radio.
So, I want to move that conversation about what can be done better to another time. Later, when things are not so fragile.
Right.
And people have their criticisms, fine, okay? But we're not going to carry that conversation here and now.
I can appreciate that, Troy.
Yeah.
As well.
But Crystal, this is, I was asking you earlier, and I know this is going to be difficult to do, but I kind of want you to turn off your official Joint Information Coordinator hat and just be Crystal Pacos and Augustine, who happens to work with Lulian Guerrero. How are you and the governor doing?
We're doing great. I mean, all things considered, we show up, we're ready to serve the people of Guam. And
are you guys, turn that off. Are you guys eating healthy? Are you getting enough rest? Honestly.
Well, I was on a keto diet preparing for my first bodybuilding competition before this, and then the typhoon came, and that was thrown out the window. So my daily routine has been thrown off.
Okay.
I'm slowly getting back into that routine. Even just drinking enough water is a luxury now.
Yeah.
Right? Because water is
Is anyone feeding you guys over at Civil Defense? You guys are getting the hot meals?
I have at least one hot meal a day.
Okay.
I am very sugared up.
Okay.
I have a lot of candy in my life.
Okay. And the governor is getting enough rest?
She's getting enough rest. As in the lieutenant governor.
This is important stuff.
I want to say, Lieutenant Governor didn't have water for a very long time, but he took his preparedness steps. I know he did his laundry in advance. He even ironed some clothes so that he was prepared for the storm, after a storm and not having power and water restored. I think all of us collectively, we're doing great. I think we're just so grateful for all the FEMA support. We go into these meetings and people are so ready to help. They're excited to help. And we're just the people of Guam. We have a bigger family now with our federal family here on board.
So a lot of people are feeding our National Guardsmen who've been directing traffic, which is good. You got the Lions Club out there.
Also, the need for fewer TCPs, traffic control points, is decreasing because as power goes on, traffic lights go on.
And I've noticed that. Thank you. What I wanted to know is who else do volunteers need to feed? Where else can those hot meals go?
Consider the shelter workers.
Okay. Those are the DOE employees, right?
Right. The shelter workers.
How about the shelteries?
Absolutely, but I don't I want to direct you to the American Red Cross.
Okay.
Because we're trying to not put more traffic at the shelters, right? So if you want to donate either your time or your monetary donations or your donations, maybe a canned goods.
Dry goods.
Contact the American Red Cross, and that's going to be our source.
And they'll figure it out.
They can deploy it. It's much faster that way. It's more organized that way, rather than showing up with food plates at the shelter, which may or may not be helpful at the time.
Yeah.
Please organize with the American Red Cross. I know a lot of people have been calling the Joint Information Center, able-bodied and ready to support. I want to direct you to the American Red Cross. Also, we're working in tandem with Todo Guam, who are bringing those mobile clinics to the shelters. And so for me personally, as Crystal Pacos and Augustine, I'm just so grateful to live in a community where we support one another, where community is evident. Like, if there is a lineman working at my house, we're going to give him the last cold beverage in the fridge, right? That's the kind of Guamanian hospitality that I'm familiar with, and what I remember when I was a little girl living through Pong Son Hua, because I remember months of playing cards and in candlelight dinners, unintentionally, but it's time to I think this is a time for all of us to spend time with our family, to recall what's more important in our lives. I also think that, wow, this administration has dealt with an emergency every single year we've been in office. Year 1 was dengue, year 2 and 3 was COVID, year 4 was COVID recovery, and year 5 is Typhoon Mawar. And so we're definitely, I think you have the best leader at the right time. A registered nurse, a businesswoman, a former lawmaker, and her team, again, to lead you through this emergency. And we're going to get better together. We're going to learn from this.
That's what I want to ask. Lieutenant Colonel Peavy, I should have asked Kevin and Veronica as well. Can you get us some pictures or video of all the work, the action on the field that you guys are doing, so we can show people? It provides a level of comfort to people that something's happening. And Crystal, the same. Can we please get video and photos of the governor and lieutenant governor out in the field?
We're posting those daily. You can check them out on social. If you want to see what governor and lieutenant governor we're doing for the day, we're making it a point to post that daily on our governor's social media and LT's social
But give it to us so that we can post it for our readers and our viewers. Yeah. So
I know right now governor's traveling up north. She wants to meet with the mayors. Tumuning Mayor was where she stopped first, and then she's going to head north. Lieutenant Governor, yesterday she went south. They both paid visits to the PD warehouse, the GSA PD warehouse, where they had the commodities. And shout outs to our team, our GovGuam volunteers, our GovGuam employees, who just yesterday packed 83,000 pounds worth of food commodities to be distributed. And then DPW picked those commodities up today to deploy.
Oh my gosh.
So the mayors have
Good thing I promised Jesus a couple years ago I'd stop making fat jokes, because like 5 of them came into my head.
About the commodities?
No, about the 83,000 pounds of food, yeah.
83,000 pounds of food was packed and being deployed through our mayors and through the good work of the GovGuam employees. I mean, that's what my coworkers. That's what my coworkers are doing. If they're not working at the JIC, they're there at the PD warehouse packing canned goods. Shout outs to my husband Rob St. Augustine, and
shout out Rob.
That's my husband.
Shout out Rob.
And Stephanie Flores from
shout out Steph.
Guam State Clearinghouse for leading that effort. I've not been there myself, but I understand.
Does Stephanie have power?
I don't know.
Can you find out, because we want some
we
desserts?
want some manha pie and stuff.
Oh, she does. That's our typhoon.
But here you go. This is from Pika's.
I want to present this to you.
Yeah, it's hot.
I'm from Guam, so
I like
can
hot.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
That's,
for your friend.
Very special. Thank you.
Is there any other information you wanted to get out, Lieutenant Colonel Phoebe?
I think you said it all. It's just very proud to be a part of this effort.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for being a part of this. Crystal,
you should stop smoking.
I don't smoke. Please extend to the governor and lieutenant governor our invitation for them to come on here anytime, talk about the recovery, speak to the people directly, say whatever they want to say. They're more than welcome to come here.
Absolutely. And right now I can tell you they're both on the field, and that's why I'm here in their stead. Thank you so much for having us and for sharing the Joint Information Center releases and for getting the information to the public. I will take any and all platforms. Again, the telecoms limitations was a very scary period as a communicator, as a key communicator for Guam, and so I'm grateful to those who are sharing verified information and trying to get help to the people as soon as possible.
May we please have you both back sometime in the near future for updates?
Absolutely.
And then it's sometime in the future, and it's not going to be in the near future. I do want to have you back for the sort of after action where we can.
I think we need a hot wash, absolutely, and maybe even as a media hot wash, a full-on media event. Again, getting our media partners. Because people want to have that conversation, and I'm just trying to tell everyone, no, it's just not that time. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for not helping to bring panic to the people.
Everything's fragile. Everything's fragile, and so we just got to get past this, and then we can have that conversation all we want.
Thank you.
Right? Okay.
There's a time for that.
Yeah. Thank you all. Which camera am I looking at? There's a bunch of cameras here. And anyone?
In general.
In general. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us today and getting as much information as you can about how you can get disaster aid and what our government of Guam, our military, federal partners, and private sector are doing. We'll get you more of this information in the future, but for now, 1-800-621-FEMA. You can apply there by calling there, or disasteraid.gov.
Disaster assistance.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Disasterassistance.gov.
Or download the FEMA app.
Oh, yeah.
There's an app.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll go through this at a later show, but great show, Shadow.
Yeah, great show. We haven't done this in a while. You guys have a wonderful day. Go get your 76 Circle K. They don't have Polar Pops or coffee.
I want ice. Anybody knows where for me to buy ice?
I really want those Polar Pops. Or check out Winchell's.
Yes.
For your clam chowders and your donuts and I had a ham and cheese croissant sandwich. I want a steak sandwich. It's fat boy time. You guys have a wonderful day. I love you all. God bless you.
Okay, bye.
Ilinala Ipalawan, Sinyabula, Minaletnya, Agan Bravo, Itata Taunya.
Yet cervical cancer continues to pose a constant risk to women today due to low awareness.
Cervical cancer kwa siye masek lan matan sa kantilokin yaki. Fingom somono, pap smear, and HPV vaccination is on a cashing to Lokinya.
Dapat ko radil amlamukar. Ego mga laklangan radil. Nagtamare ay muraw usong ala. Yung raw gurula. Ramak nitalak. Rektel umarali.
Ang mga babaeng may edad 21 pataas ay kailangang magpapaptest kada 3 taon.
Sa dati na sontartua, lari sa kwano, anana alatokin sila ng HPV.
Ofisin todo Guam Foundation. Togeria rates meu posud ewesemwet HPV. Eri fefire seri firifit. Iya patu fitsingeri are pagi. Ekari ni sakao dari tentu wurud nanabut meu patsakurel fefin medicine. Kirisam.
Tampatilin cervical cancer arangan prevent na from notification novinial mabiun kotafulaika cervical cancer.
Ora komin matan fokokos.
Be a well woman.
Mga pakla ba dingiyo?
Tufno kada pinipin ang tayo da health rodat.
Piata liga lainay.
Zangen Meggat Itatao Tanya.
Maging malusog po tayong mga kababaihan.
Kitsvepi si puede petiveteresito resawal geririsits puede papatsakut. Take the first step to becoming a well woman and call Todu Guam Clinic today at 671-649-TODU to schedule an appointment.